Hello, everyone. As soon as the door opened, the look in the foster mother's eyes made the policeman shiver. A series of horrifying memories surfaced: his wife falling down the stairs, foaming at the mouth after a meal, almost burning to death in the kitchen, almost dying from the poison porridge. All of them had her in them. He stepped back, his heart pounding. The woman who raised him was the one who wanted to kill his wife. The sky had just begun to brighten, and sinnhat and his mother were already toiling along the slippery red dirt road to the jackfruit field. The basket on his mother's back was worn out, and Nhat was quietly carrying a blunt knife. They did not talk much, only the sound of dry leaves rustling under their feet and the sound of jackfruit falling unexpectedly in the quiet forest. Each jackfruit was cut and carried to the market to sell for a few coins, a little hope for Nhat to continue to support her family. Nhat never complained. Even though her hands were scratched and her shoulders were sore, she still tried hard, because she knew, if she fell, her mother would not be able to bear it. Rumors about a policeman who had just returned after months of being missing and had lost his memory spread like wildfire through the area. And Shihang's ex-lover couldn't sit still. Her heart still hadn't calmed down from her past feelings, even though he had a wife and children. But now, the opportunity suddenly appeared. Had he forgotten all about the past? So who would she be in that empty memory? She put on light makeup, then went to his house. Sinnhat and her mother had gone to get jackfruit to sell. The girl appeared full of confidence, her eyes shining. She asked softly, "Hang, do you still remember me?" The man stood still for a moment, then shook his head. "Sorry, who are you?" Her heart stopped, but at that moment, she smiled schemingly. "I am your wife. Have you really forgotten everything?" She added, "The girl named Sinnhat and the child are not your wife. They just took advantage of your loss of memory to make up stories. You have been deceived." He frowned. His heartbeat began to erratically. The words were like knives cutting straight into the confusion that was tearing at his head. He looked at the girl in front of him. Her eyes were gentle but strange, and the scattered images of a woman named Nhat, of the child calling him dad, came flooding back like waves hitting the shore. "If you are my wife, why don't I have any memories of you?" he asked. She was stunned for a moment, but quickly regained her composure. "Because I had an accident. Everything was erased. You are the only one who truly loves me. Don't let them continue to deceive me." A long silence followed. He turned his face away, avoiding the girl's eyes. Inside him was a storm: confusion, doubt, anger. But then he remembered the way Sinnhat wiped his face when he had a fever, remembered the child's small hand holding his hand in his sleep. He turned back, his eyes clearer than ever, seeing that she refused to leave. Hang sighed and invited her to sit down. "If you really know anything about me, tell me. Maybe I will remember something." The girl named Hyan immediately seized the opportunity. Her voice was trembling, but full of hope as she began to recall old memories. The times the two of them walked by the river, the time he was injured protecting her, the look he had given her. But throughout the story, Hang remained silent. His face did not change at all. Not a single memory arose. He turned to Long, his adopted brother, sitting next to him, and asked, "Was what she said true?" Long was confused, avoiding her gaze. I'm not sure. It's an old story." Hang looked at Hyan, then resolutely stood up. "I'm sorry. The person I believe is Sinnhat. You should go home." Hyan still sat there, her eyes determined, with no intention of leaving. "They are fooling you. Don't you see? I am your wife, the one who has been with you all these years. Sinnhat just took advantage of your insanity to get in." HGG frowned, trying to stay calm. But Hyan's eyes were like knives piercing every corner of her empty memories. "I don't have any memories of you, but every time I see Sinnhat and the baby, I feel warm, like that's the real family." Hyan smiled faintly, starting to manipulate. "Those are fake feelings. They stuffed you. If you really loved me like before, you wouldn't doubt me like this." Meanwhile, Sinnhat and her mother were still carrying heavy jackfruits to the market, smiling brightly as they counted every penny they earned. Little did she know that at home, another woman was trying to find a way to win. "Hang back." Amidst the cries of selling and sweat soaking her shirt, Sinnhat still believed that the love she had built was strong enough to keep him by her side. But she didn't know. The third person had sown the seeds of doubt, and her husband was standing at a crossroads of his heart. Very quickly, Sinnhat and her mother sold all the jackfruit, eager to return home. But they did not know that at home, a storm was brewing. Will they be able to return before Hang is completely manipulated? An unexpected confrontation awaits. As for HGG this time, HGG didn't waver. He coldly said, "You go home." Hein stood up, angry. "Okay, but don't think I'll disappear. I'll be back, and next time, you'll remember who I am." She turned on her heel. The door slammed shut, leaving a disconcerting silence. Just as she reached the gate, Hein unexpectedly ran into Sinnhat and her mother, who were hurrying back from selling jackfruit. The atmosphere was immediately tense. Sinnhat's mother was stunned, then stepped forward, her eyes blazing. "What are you doing here?" Hein did not retreat, coldly replying, "I came to take Hang back to me." Sinnhat stood there, frozen. She clenched her hands, but her lips could not form words. Fear seemed to be choking her throat. Sinnhat's mother shouted loudly without restraint, "Get out of here now. Don't think that just because my daughter is gentle, she can do whatever she wants." Hein laughed contemptuously, glancing at Sinnhat, who was bowing his head. "Hang must be mine. You and your mother will have to leave sooner or later." Saying that, she turned and left, leaving behind a chilling warning. This matter is not over yet. The wind blew through the gate, carrying with it an ominous premonition. After Hein left, Sinnhat and her mother hurriedly entered the house, their faces full of worry. Her mother looked around and rushed over to ask, "Did she do anything to you? Did she say anything that made you hesitate, Hang?" Sinnhat also quickly sat down next to Hang, her eyes filled with tension as she looked at him expectantly. He just shook his head slightly, holding her hand to reassure her. "She came here, saying that she was my wife, trying to recall the memories between me and her. But strangely, I don't remember anything. I don't feel anything familiar, like when I looked at the two of you." Hearing that, Sinnhat was slightly moved. Her mother breathed a sigh of relief and then scolded lovingly, "But she almost made my mother and I have a heart attack. That Hein is really shameless." Hang smiled slightly. Her eyes softened as she looked at Sinnhat. He spoke softly, but firmly, "Even though the memories haven't returned yet, my heart has chosen. I believe you." The atmosphere in the house suddenly warmed up, but at that moment, Sinnhat's mother gently reminded, "How about the whole family go to the prison to visit Hang's adoptive mother? Who knows, meeting her again, your memories will be clearer." Everyone looked at each other and nodded. Then the whole family went together to the prison where Hang's adoptive mother was being held. When facing that woman, would the police remember their biological mother? After a long journey, the whole family arrived at the prison. No one said much. When they entered the yard and saw their mother, Hang's heart beat rapidly. As soon as their eyes met, Hang stopped. A cold electric current ran down her spine. In his mind, horrifying images suddenly burst. Screaming in the rainy night, the sound of broken bottles, the scene of Sinnhat being pushed down the stairs. It was her. She had harmed his wife many times, but he still defended her. His face turned pale, his legs felt like they were about to give way. She smiled, but that smile made the atmosphere thick. "You finally came. Look at you. Who is to blame for this? It's that girl Sinnhat, not knowing how to take care of her husband, letting you lose your memory, being led astray by others." Sinnhat was stunned, her lips pressed tightly together, and her mother couldn't stand it anymore, raising her voice, "Say less. Who was the one who almost killed my daughter? Do you still dare to blame her?" She still smiled, calmly but viciously. "I only taught her how to keep her husband. If a woman is weak, she will lose her husband." That sentence made Hang tighten her hand. The memory became clearer and clearer. He remembered the times his foster mother threatened Sinnhat, remembered his wife's painful eyes when he didn't believe her. Everything was like a knife cutting into his heart. He turned to Sinnhat, the person who was always by his side even though he was rejected, the person who never once blamed him for forgetting who she was. His eyes were now clearer than ever. He said to the warden, "I don't want to see her anymore." His foster mother glared. "Are you going against your mother?" He replied, his voice firm, "My real mother is the one who always silently protected me, not the one who harmed my family time and time again." Then he turned around, took Sinnhat's hand and walked away. His mother screamed, but her voice was only a faint echo in the background.